Hi, everybody. I hope you can hear us now. Thank you for joining us for session number 9 of Stonetop, an actual play on the Happy Jacks Role-Playing Network. To catch up on past episodes, visit happyjacks.org/Stonetop. And to find all of the shows on the Happy Jacks Network, visit happyjacks.org/shows. The phrase Happy Jacks is like my mouth has stopped being able to say it, so it's going to make tonight interesting. I'm Emily Vanderwerf. I am the GM of this particular game, where we're getting into some scrapes and we're getting into some shenanigans with the worlds above and below. I would like to introduce my wonderful players, and why don't we start with you, Blythe?
My goodness, hello everybody. I am Blythe. I am playing Tiern, she's in a place right now, and things are happening right now, and deals were made. So, we're gonna see what happens. Yeah. Let's see if her friends can help her or not. I don't know. We'll see. Who knows? I don't know anymore after last game.
Yeah, who can say? And the other person who was here last time, Nick, why don't you introduce yourself?
Hello everyone, my name is Nick. I'm a little bit distracted at the moment because I can't tell if we have sound or not. But in case we do,
we have sound.
Okay. It's so low on my side that I'm not sure what's going on, but if long as it's coming through for somebody, then that's all I care about. I'm playing Braun, who is rapidly heading towards unplayable NPC status. Has become obsessed with getting to the Summerlands, I guess, and is kind of becoming a bad guy and betraying trust every time he rebuilds it. So we'll see how that works out.
I have to say, after every session, I think you've DM'd me to be like, hey, if I need to die next session, that's fine.
I just want to be clear, like, you know, if this becomes an unplayable character or if he gets left behind somewhere, I totally get it to all my other players. I will not take any offense.
Mac, say hello.
Hello. Oh wait, you wanted me to do more
yes,
like an intro
more.
or something?
Yeah, but I mean, you can also just say hello and we'll move on, but please introduce yourself.
Oh, okay. Well, in that case, I am Mac, and I'm going to be playing Ilsa, the would-be hero, who was having a huge crisis of faith last time.
Yes. And Mo, if you'll introduce yourself.
Hey, I'm Mo. I'm playing Carlo, the Marshal. Until Braun started acting up, I was the problematic one.
There's enough problematicism to go around in this group. I think only Ilsa has not made a deal with some horrible power at some point or another.
Oh, she has. She has made a deal to do the right thing.
Does anyone want to do a recap of last time for a few advantage rolls? And I know that, Mo, you and Mac were not here last time. You did catch up on the stream, so you can feel free to jump in if you'd like. But I also would love to hear this from Nick or Blythe's point of view.
I was trying to find my note. I ran over to get my notes because I was like, a lot happened.
Yeah, Blythe, if you can take care of that, I'm still doing some stuff behind the scenes here.
Yeah, so, Jesus, alright. Okay, so, autumn began. It's autumn now. Marshend has officially collapsed into complete disarray. We have destroyed an entire town. Brennan, the sheriff from Marshend, has decided to stay in Stonetop with his wife until they have their child. They'll probably leave because they're quite mad at everybody because we destroyed their town.
We didn't destroy their town. And very clear, we were just innocent bystanders. Zombies destroyed their town.
We were pretty active participants in that.
I lit no torches. I threw no explosives.
You did try to kill their sheriff. So then...
Slander.
Tyrion met up with the Fairy King, and he told her to investigate Dolores instead of Nook, because maybe it's Dolores who was the problem. I don't know if he was lying or not, but, So... God, I don't even know how to go. This whole thing was a mess. So she goes and is like, alright, well, I'm gonna talk to Bronn and tell Bronn that if I need him to help me find Dolores. I'm still kind of mad at him, and he still hasn't apologized. Still. And then we had like a really nice moment during this game.
I thought he did apologize and then immediately was a dick again.
Oh, maybe you did apologize during a really nice moment and then immediately tried to give Dolores away to another fairy. It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine.
Nothing has happened yet.
That's
Hasn't
right.
happened yet. So the whistle goes missing that I'm supposed to have to call the Fairy King, and I don't know how it went missing or how it got stolen, but it did. And so I thought it was the scholar, so Tyrion went and broke into the scholar's room to try and find it, stole a book from him, and then jumped out the window. Realized I accidentally left some of his notes on the wrong page, so he might be aware someone broke in, and now one of his books is missing. The Fae are on the brink of a civil war is like one of the notes I found, because he writes in a scholar code that most scholars know. Don't know why he did that, but he did, and I read it. Then... Oh, there was a note about a teenage girl being at the edge of the woods, which was Dolores. And then, Dolores asks Bronn to destroy the whistle, and Bronn is like, okay. And then Bronn does hold up his end of the deal to try and, like, alert Tyrion, but is just trying to also get Dolores on his side. Oh my god. Yeah, so... It turns out Dolores is normal. There's nothing wrong with her, as far as we can tell. But she has been, like, randomly sleepwalking and doing things at Anook's beck and call, is kind of what she says. She's like, Anook went into a cave and came back out different, and probably got spirited away in that cave. Oh no!
Oh no!
We lost Emily!
Well, let's see if Emily comes back and I can just reorganize the windows. So everyone who is watching live, or anyone who's watching rather, live or otherwise, I apologize for the screens going all wonky, but we'll see if we can get that fixed again. Hopefully in real time, so just bear with us, and hopefully you are not motion sick when I start sliding things around again.
Should I continue or should we wait till Emily gets back? Because this is a lot of things happening.
Clearly. I mean, you don't have to go from my benefit because I love coming into this shit show blind.
Keep going. It's okay.
Yeah, take it going.
Actually, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
So, is you stealing the book on Marshall Hello?
Yes. This is how you steal Marshall Hello. You steal someone's book from my library. Which Bronn knows I did, so that's fun. Because Bronn saw me take out the book, and Bronn's like, that's a business. Okay. And also now Bronn knows that Tyrion has the whistle to summon the Fairy King. Because the whistle she had around her neck might be a fake one. She was given by Erasmus, more than likely. So I think the goal was for Dolores to give it to Erasmus to summon it, I could do this around race. Nick, correct me on that. We found out the whistle was charmed to look like a whistle, and then we got the real one back to Tyrion. But I don't remember if it looked like it was like an Erasmus charm or if it was an Nook charm. Tyrans, and she sleep. They're like, you can sleep. I'll put some protective charms around you so you won't like walk to the edge of the woods tonight. And suddenly, while Rod and Tyrion are having like a nice moment, things are kind of getting a little bit normal. Maybe Tyrion will forgive Bronn for doing what he did. The pan flute starts playing, and Bronn hears it and wants to follow it. And because of Tyrion's charms, Dolores is not as like tricked into it. Hello, welcome back, Emily.
Yay!
I have a question on something, so I might have said something wrong. But,
No, you're fine. Let me, what's up?
the whistle, when Dolores stole it, was it... It sounded like it was a hint that maybe Erasmus wanted her to steal it and gave her a charm to look alike.
That was certainly what it sounded like she said. Whether that's true, we don't know, but she did say something that sounded like that. By the way, I am on an entirely different computer where I don't have my backdrop, so you're just gonna have to, imagine I'm in the same room as everybody else.
It's fine.
Yeah, so look at my Fleabag poster.
Yes.
Anything else that you needed clarification on?
No, it was just that. I couldn't remember if it was an unrelated thing or a Erasmus related thing. I thought it was an Erasmus related thing. I got the spiriting way. We're at the part where Dolores is in Tyrion's room and the pan flute starts playing. And Ron decides to just follow it. And then Tyrion grabs Dolores' hand and starts following him because where the heck is Ron going? And Ron meets with a fairy who's may or may not be like a pan type. I don't know. He plays a pan flute and gets people to go to the woods. And then Ron agrees to give him Dolores in exchange for knowing that the key that he has apparently leads him to the Summerlands, which may or may not be at all real. Probably not. But Ron bought it and is trying to give Dolores up, and Dolores has agreed to go with Ron and not stay with Tyrion. So now Ron is walking Dolores to this fairy at the edge of the woods to give her away. And Tyrion is just trying to stop that from happening. Also, Tyrion is officially engaged to the Fairy King and has made a deal with him to get married.
Yes, the wedding will be on the winter solstice.
Yep.
Funny how that sounds like a season finale sort of deal. I don't know how that worked out.
Christmas time.
Mac, you and I have been talking a little bit about what Ilsa's up to, and we're going to wrap Carla in as well. But tell me what happened to Ilsa after Marshach and where she's been sort of this time.
So, Ilsa tried to go back and get some work done at the Gone, but it was just really just deflated after everything that happened, and really wondered what her role in things really is, does she have the potential to be a hero or not? And has decided to seek out a soothsayer that she's heard tales of in the tavern. The soothsayer is known as the Whisper Keeper, and the understanding is that whatever you think that they look like is what they look like. There's no one set form, so it's just it appears different to different people. The one tell that it's the Whisper Keeper specifically is that whatever form it takes has no pupils.
Okay. Tell me about, actually, I want to hear, Carla, I believe you were also getting involved here. Tell me a little bit about how you two decided to sort of go on this quest together. Or, alternately, Ilsa, if this is not a thing you terribly wanted Carla on, but he threw himself into it, that's fine too.
I have a feeling it's probably the latter.
I think I would have tried to speak with Erasmus about these things, and maybe I didn't quite understand kind of what he was saying. Maybe I didn't believe But for whatever reason, in the time that it took us to go from Marshage back to Stonetop, like, I want to know about these non-natural things, and I don't like. I liked him. I liked Tara a lot more than I did when the year started. But I feel like maybe she's compromised somehow in this. When we suddenly appeared on the edge of town, that's not something she'd ever done before. And so I'm not like, I like her. I'll protect her. I'm not sure I can trust her again. And so I might have gone to the god asking Ilsa if there's somebody we can learn more information about.
Let me see that scene play out. I'd love to just a quick flashback to late summer.
Barkeep?
Yep. Are we back on those terms?
You tell me.
I don't have any answers for you. I don't have enough answers for myself right now.
I imagine that's true too. But you do have access to a lot of stories that until now I never really cared about. I would have called them children's stories before. And at this point I've seen too much that I don't understand.
I've been thinking about going somewhere.
To get some answers?
Hopefully, but as with all things, it's impossible to tell what will really come of it.
I know I have a bad habit of stepping forward and taking charge. But if you don't mind, I'll happily go on your terms.
My terms are this. You don't come as Carlo the Marshal. You come as Carlo, someone that I hope I can call my friend.
Thank you. A lot of people don't ask me for those terms.
Well, those are what I'm setting in place.
I'll take it as a promotion.
Carlo, when we went to Marshage, we found out that your daughter Kylie is having a baby. How are you dealing with that before you're going to go off and find this soothsayer?
I gotta have a talk with a couple of boys.
Okay.
More so to let them know that sounds like they're going to have some expectations put on them, and they have some time to get a house in order, as it were.
All right. Maybe it'll be a double wedding for the season finale. So since we know that you found the soothsayer because you've been gone, I'd love to hear just like some quick highlights of like your trip to find the soothsayer and like then what the soothsayer told you when you found him. I guess I'll start with you, Max, since you're the impetus for this adventure.
Okay. It's difficult to find them because the directions are so vague. It's really based off of landmarks that, Ilsa's never seen before because she's, not been out into the world. So there's a lot of attempts to get where they're going, and, I think probably mishap trying to ford a river at one point. But eventually they do get there. And they approach this hut, and the door opens. And what it appears to Ilsa to be is herself answering the door, but as a child, wearing her armor, plate armor that her father made her. And it's almost like there's not it's not necessary for them to even talk. There's just like understanding. Did you have something, Mo?
Yeah, I stay outside and I say, shout if you need anything. No, I mean really.
I think, and I've been trying to think really hard about like what the soothsayer would have said to Ilsa, but I think the implication of their conversation is that Ilsa at the end of the day needs to be true to herself, but that she's probably going to die over what she believes in. That's going to be the ultimate outcome for her. And asks if Ilsa wants to know more details, and Ilsa shakes her head no.
Okay. Carla, do you go in and see the soothsayer, or do you just hang out?
I go in when Ilsa comes out.
Okay. And what do you see? Do you both see the same form, or does the soothsayer change in between the two of you?
I see a young Carlo, but he's not a child. And at first I'm reluctant to go in because I don't trust this man.
I wonder why. What do you learn from him? What does he tell you?
He pours me a drink. I only have a sip. And it's good, and I want more, but I should only have a sip. And I ask him, how have I traveled the world, the highways and the byways? And, I heard these stories. Sometimes I played into these stories to get a higher fee. But only now am I coming face to face with some of these things. Only now do I actually believe that they exist. I lived in Marseille. I didn't see any of this stuff. And the younger Carlo says, you have a knack for finding what you're looking for. And it seems till now you've only been looking for trouble.
Does he give you anything or tell you anything of note?
He shares with me that the world on the other side of this veil is much like our own.
Mm-hmm.
And he gives me comfort knowing that the world on the other side of this veil is much like our own.
Okay. So you two are headed back. I am just going to say you have many great adventures that will appear in the spin-off of this show. Carlo and Ilsa on their way back from the Ilsa and Carlo, private investigators. And I'm just going to say whatever your route is takes you through kind of the edge of the Great Wood. You don't go through the heart of it. You're skirting along the edge, which is how you just happen to come to town, seeing Dolores walking toward Braun, who is gesturing to the woods. Kieran standing there, looking just horrified, distraught. And as you're walking up, what do the two of you make of this scene? What do you say? What does it look like to you?
I think there's almost a deer in headlights look from Elsa and Ilsa of what have they done now?
I'm going to try to encourage you, Ilsa, to try to be still and listen, to try to figure out what exactly is going on. Because two of our compatriots seem at odds. What I said is, we're going to discern realities as we approach. That's what I said. I'm sorry. I don't know if I was clear.
No, please. Whoever wants to roll discern realities, please go for it.
Well, look at you, Elsa.
Oh God.
Can you hear anything?
So you do roll very well.
Alright, so discern realities is a
Plus wisdom.
plus wisdom. Alright.
Well, plus wisdom.
That's helpful for me.
Yeah.
That gives me let's see, that's a 13.
Oh goodness. Okay. That's very helpful. Hold on. I am trying to get to my. I'm on different computers, so I don't know where everything is. All right. So the move sheet, which I am going to paste in the chat here, so y'all can click on it. But you get to ask 3 questions from that list, which I can read to you right now, but also you'll be able to put on there. What happened here recently? What is about to happen? What should I be on the lookout for? What here is useful or valuable to me? Who or what is really in control here, and what here is not what it appears to be? Those are your 6 options, and you get to ask me 3 of them.
Who and what is really in control here?
It is pretty clear that Braun is enchanted, and if you had to place 2 bets, both of them would be on the Fae having enchanted him. And it looks like Dolores has just had it. She doesn't look like she's enchanted; she just looks like she's over it.
What here is useful to me?
What is useful to you is that Tyrn also seems like she is not enchanted and seems like she is sort of in the right place. And also, you know that fairy enchantments can often be broken by salt, and you obviously carried a little salt with you as you traveled, so you have some in your pack that you could shove in Braun's mouth if you could manage the feat.
But Braun never opens his mouth.
I'm trying to think what I want my third question to be. Was one of them something about being a threat? Sorry. I'm trying to remember all the questions.
What should I be on the lookout for?
Yeah.
Those woods look like they have eyes. It looks like whatever's happening tonight, if Braun gets Dolores into those trees, you're not sure you'll ever see either of them again.
Okay, so I'm going to assume, and let me know if this is okay, that I was riding my horse.
Sounds great. Yeah.
I'm gonna look at Carlo and go, he's enchanted. I've seen that look on his face before, and it's happening. And just take off on my horse towards Braun.
And take off behind her. Not sword drawn.
Carlo, or rather, Tiernan and Braun, as you see this, what do you, what's your interpretation of what's happening? Let's start with Tiernan, since she is a little bit more level-headed at the moment. Do you shout anything? Do you say anything?
Well, I haven't noticed how Carlo and Ilsa yet, right?
Ilsa is riding up on a horse. You will probably notice her shortly, so you can decide when you do.
Okay, so, I mean, the first thing she's going to do is, try and convince Dolores that this is not the right move.
And she, Dolores is set on, she's gonna find a real enough, and maybe this is the way to do it. At the very least, she'll be taken somewhere. Maybe they can be reunited.
And Tiernan's just that's not a guarantee, but if you stay here with me, we can work together and get enough back. There are ways to do that in this plane, but you don't know where you're going to be taken, you don't know where you're going to go. This ferry will not help you.
Hey, she already agreed to come. She's an adult.
She's not an adult. Braun.
You're
an adult, and you are not. You don't have anything.
We're moving. I don't. Braun doesn't hear anyone else approaching either, Ilsa or Carlo, and he's just making steady progress with Dolores over the bridge and into the forest.
And
so I think
briskly following and trying to grab Dolores' hand.
Yeah, I think that this whole conversation is sort of happening over his shoulder, with Tiernan following right behind.
Tiernan, roll me a defy danger plus dexterity just to see if you're able to grab her hand. But if you fail, I'm not going to make you do anything bad.
You fall in the river.
Falls in the river and is swept to her death.
It was a 4, so.
Okay, yeah, you don't catch up to Dolores. Okay. When Ilsa, you are on them right as Braun is basically walking right through just kind of the edge, just past the first couple trees. He's not in the woods yet, but he's very close, and Dolores is a couple of steps behind him.
I'll get Braun. You get the girl.
I'm going after Braun. And
Okay.
readying the salt.
I'll get the girl.
And I'm gonna launch myself off my horse at Braun.
Awesome. We'll need defy danger plus dexterity.
Do I get a roll to resist this or anything?
We'll
I
find
rolled a
out.
7.
Okay. Yes, then I'm going to let Nick roll to resist this and see what happens.
Okay.
Defy danger plus constitution.
Well, that is a 5, so not so much.
So, you, Ilsa, you're going to be able to basically tackle Braun, and he will not go any further for the moment, but your pack, which had your salt in it, goes sort of flying into the river. And it's not yet being swept down, but it's kind of lodged against some rocks, and the things that are in it are probably getting wet, including presumably the salt. So Braun is sprawled out on the ground. You are kind of standing over him, and that's where we leave the two of you. Carlo, how are you going to handle Dolores?
Back in the good old days, we had a move we would call Abduct the Damsel. So I literally lean over and scoop her up.
Okay. Roll me Defy Danger plus Dexterity.
Alright. And that is a 6 plus 1 is 7.
Ooh, okay. So you swoop up Dolores, but she is kicking very firmly, and if you all don't subdue this situation, she's gonna break free and possibly also kick you in the face in the process, which won't do damage but will hurt.
That's how the get the damsel move goes.
Okay. All right. It's a family game. Tyrion, what are you making of all this?
Well, I'm very glad Ilsa and Carlo are here because this was looking like a lost cause a second ago. It's still not looking great, but it's looking better. But I'm going to do something and use my ice sphere to see if I can see the fairy that's at the edge of the woods through it.
Great, I
See
love
if
it.
I can see who I'm dealing with.
Okay. You may have to remind me how it works because I again have none of my links on this computer.
Yeah, and I keep. Hold on. I might have. Let me double check the notes for last night. Why don't I ever write down if I'm acronym to just answer a question? Okay. So I can roll it. Oh no, my goodness. This is a second set of twos. 4. So I have ability, and I feel like I already had one, but I don't actually know.
I think you did too. So
I did have
you're
2 abilities now.
yeah, and you need what? 3? Yeah. Okay.
3 to
All right. So on a 6, your connection to your body weakens market ability. Tell me what it feels like when the ice sphere just resists you.
Well, so she holds it up to look through it, and it just kind of fogs up, and she can feel like a chill that just goes through her whole body. It's like every muscle just stiffens a little bit, and for a second, her hand, the wrist that she wears it on, just starts to look like it's frostbitten.
Mm-hmm. And
Ever so faint.
you do see one thing. You see giant jaws snapping shut over you. And then you're just sort of kicked out of vision mode. Let's go back to Ilsa. What are you going to do next?
Well, I have a potentially slightly gross idea.
Okay.
Well, the salt in my pack is gone. And I have accepted that. But I also remember that I've gotten quite worked up in this, chase down, and so the sweat from my brow is quite salty, as one would know, and I'm gonna take that and just smear it on his face. And be by the sweat of my brow, and just literally try and have this weird hero moment.
I'm not going to make you roll for this because I love it so much. I'm just going to say there's enough salt in there to break this enchantment. This game is just going straight to hell tonight. I love it. Yeah, I'm not making you roll for that. I love this. It's so great. Ron, if you want to roll to resist, you can, but I hope you feel similarly to me.
I think that's great and amazing, but I think that I feel like can I propose that we make a contested dexterity roll as Ilsa is trying to smear it in Braun's face, and Braun is get off of me, I've got things to do.
Well, yeah, please both roll Defy Danger plus Dexterity. And whoever loses just fails. We're not going to have consequences.
I have no dex. This sucks.
Beat a 6.
I got a 6.
Oh wait, I'm sorry. I apologize. 7. So
Oh,
I forgot to add my dex.
Because you have dex.
I do. I don't have con or strength, so if you want to just punch me out.
I might have to.
Yeah, so Bron, I'm picturing you like getting up on all fours and like crawling toward the woods. Even though Dolores is not with you. Actually, would you go without Dolores?
No, because Dolores is the reason that I'm going. So if
Right.
Carlo is riding away with Dolores, then I think that Braun starts stumbling in that direction.
Carlo, I'm going to make you do a parlay with Dolores to calm her down. So roll plus charisma.
I have a move.
Oh, you have a move. Okay. Is this your silver tongue? Oh,
Yeah, sort of.
Okay.
It's called Shake It Off.
Shake
When,
it off. Okay.
When you order an ally to overcome fear, pain, doubt, or delusion,
Mm-hmm.
roll plus charisma.
Okay. Yeah.
And then stuff happens based on our roll.
Great.
So I rolled a 7, 8, 9. So, an NPC will do it, but they need time. They'll resent me and feel humiliated. You
Okay.
decide.
Absolutely. She resents you. She looks at. She's like, okay, yeah, you're right. Going into the woods is not a great idea. But nobody else is trying to save my friend. And at least Braun was. Well, he wasn't trying to save my friend, but he was going to get you closer. And nobody cares.
I promise we will work to see you first.
But she's just an assault. But she's no longer kicking. She's no longer.
She's 16.
Yeah.
So Braun is stumbling after you, and he's shouting, "We're going to the Summerlands! What are you doing?" And things of that nature.
What are you going to do? What are you all going to do about Braun?
I just look over my shoulder to make sure Elsa's alright. Like, is there anything reaching out of the forest to get her?
Nothing is good. Yeah. Nothing is going to grab from the forest. You have to go into the forest. But yeah.
Then I ride by Tyrion and say, meet you at the dawn?
Yeah, but first we need to go.
Have at it.
I'm trying. Tyrion looks tired and so done. Like, she's exhausted. She has not slept in so long.
Yeah. And it's like after midnight, too, which is great.
And she was staying awake to keep an eye on Dolores. So, like, she's tired. I'm just tired of Braun's shit.
That's fair.
I feel like, I'm not quite at a point where I want to, like, try and beat the shit out of Ron. I'm just trying to get him under control because I can tell that he's been enchanted and I've seen him under an enchantment before. I want to scruff him.
Okay.
Well, at the moment, I think the good news is that if Carlos headed back to Stonetop, then Braun is following. Like I don't.
But I don't trust you not to cause more mayhem there.
Oh sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna say defy danger plus strength because you're not actually trying to hurt him.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Nope. I got a 5.
You're gonna get so much experience. I love this.
Really?
Yeah. So gosh, and if I should there should be like a consequence, but like you just can't grab him. He's stumbling along blindly after Dolores because she is headed back into town. So, but yeah, he's screaming. He's like yelling loudly enough that he's obviously like waking people up as you get into the edge of Stonetop. Like you walk past the mill where the woman whose name I don't remember because I don't have my notes on this computer lives, and she's like staring out her window into the moonlight, and like you're heading into town, and just everyone is sort of like, what is this? What is the shopkeep yelling about? So you're drawing lots of attention to yourselves. Braun is drawing lots of attention to yourselves. But yeah, so y'all are going to the Dom?
If that's where Dolores is going.
How far out were we?
You were out by the mill. You were out by that bridge that goes by into the woods. So you're half hour, 45-minute walk from the Gone, depending on how. And you're on your horse, so that you can probably go more quickly. But Braun is going to just stumble after you, after Dolores rather. So yeah, it's half hour.
Okay, because I'm gonna keep trying to stop him.
Okay.
I mean, it's
Right.
gonna be this, our endless cycle of Batman Joker, apparently.
If you want to like ride in front of Braun and just literally block his path with the horse, that probably.
I was thinking about doing that.
Yeah. Okay. So if you ride in front of like you can do that on your horse. That's not very hard. Roll me Defy Nature plus Constitution to let you know how intent you are on getting past the horse.
Sure. 8. I am 8
Okay.
inclined.
Tell me what your plan is to go. Obviously, you can just walk around the horse, but an 8 suggests that you're going to do it in an extremely stupid fashion.
Okay, so in an extremely stupid fashion, Braun decides that the best way to do this is going to be to dive under the horse and go in between the legs, like straightest path. So Ilsa gets in the way, and he like does a stutter step, like he's going to go one way or the other, and then dives underneath.
Roll me Defy Danger plus Dexterity to see if you avoid any damage.
Yeah.
Done by any hooves or kicked by any hooves.
Plus Dex, that is a 6. I've got lots of XP tonight.
You take a pretty swift kick to the abdomen.
Okay.
So it hurts like hell. You actually maybe it does not. It's probably only some bruises.
Should I take a harmer? Should I take a harmer too?
Yeah,
Or hit points?
2 harm, and 2 hit points off. I don't have a weapons chart for a horse hoof, so that feels fair. But yeah, now you're like pretty winded in the leg under a horse.
Braun, don't make me hurt you.
What you? Why would you hurt me? I'm just trying to do what's best. Look, Dolores wants to go into the woods and find a nook. I want to go to the Summerlands, and we made a deal, and just everything's gonna work out. Where have you been anyway? You don't know what's going on. You're not my father.
Am too. This isn't you. I know you, and this isn't you.
Whatever, just get out of my way, or help me up, or leave me alone. And all of that is in the get out of the way, or help me up, or leave me alone. And I'm just kind of crawling forward, out from underneath the horse.
It's hopefully, depending on how I roll, knock out the clock.
Okay. Roll me hack and slash, which is plus strength.
I rolled a 9.
Okay. Well, it says deal your damage, but you suffer your enemy's attack. But like, I don't know what Braun's going to be able to do to you laying on the ground like this. So roll me your damage for your. Are you using your hammer or are you just punching?
Actually, while he was kind of winded, I figured he was a little doubled over.
Okay.
I was just gonna sweep my leg and just kick him right in the head.
Okay, cool. Roll me 1d6 damage, and Nick, your armor will apply to this roll.
It will? Okay.
Good, because I rolled a 6. Shit.
All right.
Okay, so take your whatever that damage is, Nick. Minus. So it's 6 minus your armor.
Yeah. -1. Okay.
Oh yeah, now you roll great, you stupid guy.
Okay.
Do you want to go to the others, or should I take an action?
I assume you're probably knocked out, but take an action if you don't think you're knocked out.
Well, so how do you want to judge this? I still have more than half my hit points, but only by 1, so I'm down to 9 from 16.
Mm-hmm.
If you say that I'm knocked out or no good, that's fine. I'll roll with that. If not, Braun is probably going to turn on Ilsa, if that's how you want it, and then go after her. But I'm open to whatever is fine.
I feel like Ilsa deliberately tried to knock you out, hit you in the head.
Yep.
For like 5 points of damage. You're at the very least extremely woozy. Like you're not going to be in fighting shape.
Okay.
So yeah, I think you are out for the time being. Probably
Okay.
not for long, but for the time being.
Sounds good to me.
I'm gonna. Are you headed? Are y'all headed to the dawn? I'm just checking on that because I'm gonna fast forward to there unless anybody has anything else they want to do.
No, I was gonna take him to the dawn, although I was gonna take my reins if I have to and like use them to restrain him.
Okay, sounds great. Okay.
Yeah, just drag his ass.
Great. So you get to the dawn. Braun is kind of starting to wake up. I assume you have salt there.
Yeah.
So you can
So much
probably.
salt.
Yeah. You can. Yes. So tell me as you get here. It's about like 2:30 in the morning. What are y'all? What are y'all doing? Like the dawn is closed. Carlo.
I got a dumb question.
Yeah.
So, everyone made it back from their other missions, journeys?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's important. So, I go wake up Zeb and a couple of the deputies,
Mm-hmm.
and they meet Ilsa at the front gate, and they get Mr. Braun to a cell.
Great. Okay.
Is
I talked to Dolores.
Mm-hmm.
I say, look, young lady, we're gonna have you stay at the I chuckle, the office tonight.
But
You're gonna get a bed. I'll sleep out on the desk. If there's any trouble, we have another cell. I want to give you the benefit of the doubt. You're not in trouble. But if anything else happens, you will be. Okay?
you just threatened to put me in jail.
Listen, I want to protect you. It's 2 a.m.
Yeah, I probably shouldn't be going into the woods, huh?
We're not making the best choices today. So we are gonna wake up in the morning, have some breakfast, and figure this out.
Okay.
Either way you decide, I promise to sort out what's going on with the milk. Because when I left town, she was still here.
Okay. All right. I'll come with you. Before you put Ron in a cell, do you feed him any salt?
If I'm sure.
Okay.
If Ilsa says that's what we should do.
Yeah. Okay. Ron, what does it feel like to come out of this enchantment? How do you feel about it? Especially because you're now in jail.
If I can expand on this scene just a little, I'm anticipating that Ilsa shoves a stale pretzel in his mouth that's just covered in salt, and so Braun is kind of like choking and gagging a little bit on this stale pretzel and all of the salt, and just goes sputters and looks at everyone and is groggy and is just, why does my head hurt? What happened? And
Really earned it.
Braun is just confused.
You really don't remember anything.
There was... Why am I in jail? There was, I was at the school with Tiern, and we were trying to help Dolores, and I thought I heard something, and now I'm just... Oh, God, I feel like I was kicked by a horse.
That is actually accurate.
Oh, what?
Hey, Braun. There's a pillow there on the bench. You can get off the floor. There's some water. And also a glass of beer. We found you wandering around on the edge of the forest. It's 2 a.m. I don't know what's going on. Can we talk about this in the morning?
Can I just go home? I don't feel like a danger.
We're worried about you, man.
This is a better place for you to be tonight.
Can someone try and what's the convince?
Parlay?
Yeah, give someone do a parlay. I want to see how much Braum would resist this.
Sure. I'm a good parlayer.
Yeah, me too.
The only one who's not.
I think one of you roll and the other assist so that you get an extra die. Because you're both there, you're both having this conversation. So
Alright.
Should I roll since I have the keys?
yeah, go for it. So roll 3 dice and take the tops.
Oh, 3 dice. Roll with advantage. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Okay. So the best way to convince Braun is going to be to play up concerned, and that it's not comfortable and it's not great accommodations, but this way we can have someone keep an eye on you in case there's anything else, if there's a seizure or any complications or something like that.
That's what I said.
Well, yeah, I guess. Let me just lay down here.
Hey, your head might hurt less if you have a sip of beer. If you need anything else, shout. But if you could tell me now before I get back in my bed, that'd be good.
No, I'll just, I'll have a drink and thanks for keeping an eye on me.
I go mumble to Zeb. Ilsa, if you want to hang out, Zeb's bed is free. Zeb's kind of mumbling about. It wasn't 5 minutes ago.
I'm just as happy heading back to the Dawn.
Okay.
Tyrion, how are you dealing with all of this?
Tyrion would rather stay near-ish outdoors.
Did you want to stay in the office?
Yeah, Tyrion is gonna look at you and just be like, she's mad at me, but I needed to stay near her, so hopefully prevent this from happening again.
So we have an extra bed because I'm still not happy about that. You see two camp rolls laid out next to the front door. Um, I show you the key to the window lock, and I tie a belt onto the door. I say, you know, there's stuff in this world that can take her out that room, the locked window and the belt on the door, but it's late. You got some better ideas.
I mean, I tried the better idea, and then Ron. It's not important. And I'll keep an eye on her everything that's happening.
If you feel like you want somebody, one of us to stay up watch, wake me up. Just kick me on the foot.
Get some sleep. I'm sure you need it.
Everybody goes to sleep. As you are drifting off, Dolores laying next to you says, he said he was going to marry a book, and it was just a trick. I'm like, she's asleep, right? Yeah. Dolores just says that. You have not told anyone about your impending nuptials. Dolores has either guessed that's happening or was a vision or something like that. You know you haven't mentioned it to her directly.
I haven't mentioned it to anyone.
Yes, exactly. Nobody else hears it, just you. So, morning comes to Stonetop. Where is, so most of you are waking up in the jail, or in the marshal's office, rather. Ilsa, tell me about being at the dawn with the two older gentlemen who are already waiting outside for you to open up. I don't remember their names because they're in my notes, which are on my other computer. But they're sitting there, just sort of like, we're playing parsnips outside already, and it's like 7:45 in the morning. We got very little sleep, but yeah, things are starting to kind of wake up. There's Raj, your bar hand is your bar hand. That's not the right word. Your waiter, your all-purpose busboy is sort of like cleaning up, and yeah, how do you feel this morning?
Exhausted. And I'm gonna ask Raj if he'll take a crack at serving some beer today. He gives me a break.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, I am so good at that. I did some of that while you were away, and he realizes he wasn't supposed to do some of that while you were away. He's like, I mean, I thought about it. I think, like, I went mentally, I prepared all the steps. I didn't actually do it, though. Just ask.
Raj,
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
about here.
Yeah.
I need you to be like here.
Yeah, so
I
I've
need
done
to
all
bring
the
it down a
mental...
little bit.
So I've done all the mental preparation, so I know how to do the beer, but I haven't actually done it yet. That's what I've done. Okay. And he scampers off and starts working. Erasmus, the scholar who's staying for Dawn, kind of comes down the stairs, looks at you, says, "You've been gone for a while."
Well, I can't say that that's inaccurate.
Where did you go?
Why do you care?
Curious.
I needed to see someone about some things that are very personal to me.
Someone whose eyes were pure as black.
Go on.
Oh, I just heard there's a certain someone who when you need them most, you might be able to find them. Sometimes they give you good answers, and sometimes they don't. I wouldn't know anything about it. I try not to dabble, just to study. Anyway, it seems there was some turmoil last night. I do believe a thief broke into my room, so I was thinking about raising the town marshal.
You're welcome to do so.
I asked the servant boy, and Raj does all that. Like, hey. I asked him if he'd seen anyone, and he said no. So,
Well, as you've already noted, I've been gone, and I'm just catching back up.
I would be happy for an introduction to the marshal. I heard he's quite a tough character.
He has that reputation.
But yes, this has been a wonderful room to stay in, and I'm glad that you found the answers you sought in his mind and sort of heads toward the door.
I guess let's go see Carla.
Okay. So y'all are at the jail. Braun.
Yes.
I was gonna say you wake up first. Roll me defy danger plus constitution to see if you wake up.
Oh no.
Like die.
Right. 4. So, no.
Okay, you don't wake up.
Unless that means that I do, and I haven't been able to sleep because I've been in pain all night.
Oh, I like that better. Yes, you have not slept. You have been in just incredible pain. When you start to fall asleep, your midsection hurts. When your midsection kind of calms down, your head hurts. You just can't find equilibrium, and you've just been sitting there watching the sun creep closer and closer to you, and now it's in your eyes, but you just can't bring yourself to move.
Because I finally found the spot where both of them are at a 3, rather than one spiking up to an 8 and the other going down to a 2.
Yeah, and if they're starting to lower to throbs, I will say that you can heal 2 harm just from, hanging out in your cell tonight.
Okay.
We can probably get you doctor help if you'd like, but, the actual kick to the head, some of that would be on its own. So, but yeah, so you have not slept all night. How are you breathing this morning?
So Braun has his eyes closed, and he's sort of slumped in a weird kind of diagonal situation where he's not sitting up and he's not lying down. He's sort of like on one elbow, and one leg is straight, but the other one is, folded and on the ground, because this is like just the position that he can get into that sort of maximizes comfort. Eyes closed against the sun, and when he hears who's coming in or who's waking up.
The first thing you hear is Zeb is running a tin cup along the bars.
Oh, jeez. Okay, great. Could you... I'm awake. Don't let my closed eyes fool you. I just... Oh, please stop. Please stop.
I knew you were awake. Good morning. You tried to kidnap a girl last night.
What? No, that's... I don't think that happened. Can I get out of here? I want to go lay down.
That'll be up to the marshal, and I know he favors you, but if it were up to me, you'd be in here for a long time. You can't be taking young girls into the woods.
Yeah, well, I'm sure that didn't happen. You're...
Oh, just let me have some fun with her.
I always respect my elders, but, you sound a little addled, my friend.
I'll show you addled. I do want to say, Braun, this whole time you kind of had just sort of swimming in your consciousness. Not ever quite to the front, but always right there. If your consciousness was a stage that's painted on the backdrop, just the most beautiful pair of blue eyes you've ever seen. You know they belong to a man, but you don't know who that man is. You just know how wonderful they were and how sad you are at the enormous of them.
It must have been a hell of a night for me to wake up like this and have visions like that.
If the Lord Dolores is still sleeping. Taryn, tell me when you wake up.
I feel like Tyrion doesn't really sleep well. She's kind of up like off and on. Like it's like one of those nights where it's like you sleep for like 30 minutes and then you wake back up and you sleep again for a little bit.
Me every Sunday night.
Okay.
Yeah, so, Dolores is snoring. Like, Dolores is having the best sleep of her life right now. But Carlo, you're talking to Zeb, and getting him to not give Ron such a hard time. Yeah, so Erasmus walks into the jail, or the marshal's office, closely followed by Elsa. I don't know how close. And Erasmus says, I was just speak with the marshal. There's been a robbery.
Sir, yes, Marshal.
Someone broke into my room last night and stole one of my most important texts and read through my notes. And do you know how I know? Because I remembered which page I was on. And not only did I see that they had moved to a different page, but they had left a little smudge on it. They'd smudged the ink. I take great pride in my penmanship.
I am going to go and clap Carla on the shoulder and go, he's all yours. And walk away to go find Braun.
Morning, Elsa.
Well, we're right there, aren't we?
Oh, I thought you were
You're in the next. You're in the next. You're in the next.
Okay.
You're down the hall in the cells. So they're out in the front office, and she'll be going back to the cells. So.
Mr. I'm sorry, what's your name again?
Erasmus.
Erasmus.
Yes.
So, I'm sure you've heard of Marsh Edge Hello.
Yes, I've heard of a marsh edge halo. That's when they will stick their hand in your pocket and remove everything you have. I assure you I was not carrying this book in my pocket.
My point is, we have a lot of new people in town. If this were normal times, I'd know the usual suspects. Give me some time. I'll go talk to Brennan, their former marshal, and I'll see if I can get to the bottom of this.
I know what you're trying to do and what you're trying to say, but also, this book was written in a language few can read. It was of little value. It was of low interest to anyone who was not immediately interested in the Fae and the possible coming civil war. Also, maybe the things below the Greenwoods, matters of that sort. But yes, please go speak to this other marshal. I wish to see the return of my book. It's vital for my work. And on his way out, he casts a look at Tyrion. And then walks out.
Tyrion's just like, I'm tired. Like, her face doesn't, like, her face gives nothing away, because she's just like, okay, dude, like, I'm so done with everyone's shit.
Alright, so, I go into, the room with one of the cells behind Elsa. And I enter the scene. What y'all talking about?
Yeah, what are you talking about, Brown and Elsa?
How's your head?
Feels like I either had a really great night or a really bad one.
Trust me, it was a bad one.
All right. Thank you. Is that appropriate? I don't remember much of the night. Bron's eyes sort of remain closed.
Or not, and you were trying to lure somebody into the woods with you because you were under an enchantment.
Okay.
which I have no other information about because I have been away, as you may not have noticed.
No, I've noticed. We've missed you. That doesn't sound like me, but I don't have any recollection. So I'm sure there was a good reason.
It's something to get to the bottom of.
Without realizing it, as Braun says, I'm sure there was a good reason. His hand goes up and sort of plays with the key for a moment, but he doesn't realize that he's done that. So, how was your trip?
Enlightening.
Good. That's. I'm glad it was fruitful. Good. Are you back?
That's my intention for now.
Okay. Good. I'm glad you're here. Is there anything you need?
I don't know.
Well, I'm always happy to help if I can. Don't hesitate to let me know. Don't let my current circumstances fool you. I'm sure I'll be right as rain in just a little bit. And he gives kind of a sickly smile.
Well, take care of that head.
I'll do my best.
Can I enter the scene?
Yeah, go for it.
So I come in with a cup of water. You see me open up a bag and I pour some powder into the water. I take a wooden spoon, I mix it up. Here, this will make you feel better. And before I hand you the cup, I open the door and I hand you the cup.
Thanks. Braun takes the cup and takes a drink. Is it disgusting, or is it medicinal, or is it...
It's very herby medicinal.
Okay.
So you lay down, I'll check you out, see if anything's broken.
Yeah, I've got a little bit of ringing in my head, and just you know what it's like. You have after you've been beaten a bit. I haven't really slept, but sure. Braun will lay back.
He says, "Brian, you're a funny guy." When I've been beaten a bit, and I check around the ribs. See?
Let me discern the allies, just to see if you know what you're doing.
So I'm kind of like the town first aid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, if somebody had a cut, I could sew it back together. If they had a
You
wound,
can-
I could be safe.
You can roll at advantage if you want. I don't care. You have
I
like
rolled a
15.
10.
Roll a 10. Okay.
And you want me to roll plus what?
No, you don't. It's plus int or
Yeah, I
whiz.
don't have any of them. So
You're fine. Okay. But yeah, you roll a 10. You roll a natural 10, and yeah, he has some pretty bad bruising, but nothing is actually broken. Some bed rest over about a week should clear it all up entirely. And he probably has. I don't know if you would know it's called a concussion, but you can tell that like his head is not quite in the right place.
I look him in the eye. I can discern that. I let him know. So here's the deal. If you hadn't woke up this morning, it could have been bad.
Oh,
What I want you
okay.
to do is go home, get some rest. We have your knives here. Come back and get them when you get up. Don't leave the Stonetop town. Don't go out into the fields. And stay away from Dolores, okay?
Sure.
Stay away from all the little girls.
What?
Yeah, it's sad how often I have to say that around here.
I don't. Sure, fine. I just. Yeah, thank you.
This is the friend past. Okay? Something charmed you. Sort of like something charmed you on the road that night when you went running off into the woods. When I specifically asked you not to leave the road.
That was. There was some
Ron?
weird magic
Ron?
stuff. I don't.
Stop talking, Ron.
Yeah,
Go
I'll
get some rest.
I'll do that.
Come get your knives. Alright?
Bron staggers out of the cell and towards the exit and gives like a little, thank you and kind of a wave as he staggers home, shielding his eyes from the light because they're dilated and not tracking exactly correctly.
In the interest of giving everybody who has had gotten enough XP to level up, which seems like we might have just tonight, I'm going to say that you're all going to wait at least the week that it will take Ron to recover before you make any further moves. Like, nothing is in immediate danger. Dolores is very angry and anxious, but is at least placated for the time being. So, y'all have a week to sort of figure out what you want to do, probably without Ron's help. So what did the other three of you, what kind of conversations do you have while he is sleeping?
So I asked Tyrion if there's any protection or charms against people getting enchanted.
Yeah. I mean, I did that to Dolores, so she wouldn't get enchanted. I guess I should have done it wrong as well. But I can only do it. I only have enough resources for some reason.
Is it something you could give me that I could put on somebody to break a charm?
Not break. I have charms to protect. To break charms, it takes a little more.
Got it. Is this something we should get the old man in on?
Maybe. He's quite knowledgeable in the Fae. But I don't know how trustworthy he is.
Good to know.
It might be. He might know something about this particular case. Let me do some research and see what I can find first.
Before you go, do you know anybody who might be able to read that book?
What?
He just left. He said somebody stole one of his books. And he said whoever it was could probably read it.
I mean,
And, Ron's probably my prime suspect. And if he were getting it, he'd be getting it from you.
possibly enough. I mean, I'm worried about her, and it seems like we have reason to believe in her isn't who she says she is right now. And she has been using Dolores to steal things. She stole my whistle that I have, and I like the old whistle.
Okay.
Like that. So it could be that. It could be. I don't think it was wrong now, but who knows?
Ilsa, you're in the front office at the marshal's office.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm talking to everybody.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I was
Ilsa, are you
bored.
also
I
in
thought
the
this was
front?
just within this week span.
Yeah, no, I like this happening in the front office.
Okay.
So, Ron has just stumbled off home. Yeah, that's the other thing you want to say.
I mean, Ilsa's very quiet and was just kind of
Yeah, that's fine.
following along with the conversation. Brown is under an enchantment is one thing, but the Tyrion is saying maybe he took the book. Seems a little.
No, Carlos said that.
Oh, Carlos said it. Sorry, that's what I
Karen
was.
said that it could be a nook, because a nook is going to
Got it.
But she did not implicate Ron.
Got it. Sorry.
Zeb comes and stands in the doorway blocking it. Says, Marshall, I think we found this book thief. I can't believe we're caring about the spell. We haven't caught her yet, but somebody saw a young woman leaping out of the Gon's second floor down to the ground below. They didn't get a good look at her because it was twilight, but it appears our culprit is a young woman.
Alright.
And he's standing there blocking the door. Tyrion is very keen here, only you can see him.
Oh god! This is always fun.
And he's looking at you and he just says, what were you doing last night?
Tyrion starts spacing out and is like, and just kind of turns to Carlo and is like, I need to step outside for a second. I think that it's possible it was
What are you? Why do you need to step outside? Why can't you talk to me here? I'm your fiancé. You can speak to me where I wish to be spoken to.
Or
We can have this conversation.
She's like, or can I just step into the cell area, like, just for a second? I need to take a call.
He's like, step, Tyrion, step.
And
Yeah,
Tyrion
step.
just, like, goes to the cell room.
Closes the door.
Carlo, do you have a way to hear what's happening in the cell room? Not necessarily that you would listen in, but is there a way that you would be able to?
Yes.
Okay. Alright.
This cell room, I could eavesdrop from my room, because this cell room backs to my room.
Okay.
In case somebody gets any slick ideas.
Tyrion's just, I cannot talk to myself right now, so.
So I guess I look to Zeb and say, did we get anything?
I suspect it's that young ragamuffin. Oh, she's sleeping right there, Dolores. Yes, I think it's her. We should arrest her.
Well,
Don't arrest her!
we found her in the woods. She doesn't seem to have the book with her.
Alright. I suppose that makes sense. Well, what were you saying about a nook?
Yeah, I guess the school teacher thinks that a nook might be consorting with things from the other side of the veil. And he looks at me because he's never heard me say that.
But he does also. Well, she had that place. She had all those books, and
That's right.
Yeah, there should not be. Children should not be learning about things that are beyond their ken.
That's right.
This only opens the door to disaster. Accidentally, the moral of Stonetop. Actually, play on Happy Jack's RPG Network.
Don't let those kids read books.
Tyrion, you are in his cells, and the Fairy King has followed you in grudgingly. It's like, you can't, why won't you speak to me in front of your friends? It shows that you care about them more than me.
Well, they can't see you, and it kind of looks like I'm talking to myself.
You've told them about our engagement, yes? Or are you ashamed of me?
I haven't had time, because I haven't seen two of them. She's just like, she's like very honest, she's just like, I haven't seen two of them in a while, they just showed back up. Also, someone played a pan flute and enchanted my friend, and he tried to steal Dolores, and I was trying to stop it. Last
Yes,
night.
that's why I'm here.
Who is
It
that
was
friend?
very
of
nearly
yours?
disaster.
Yes, it was.
I do not know. I know he is in league with the Greenwards.
Just like, things are falling apart in this town, and I just need people who can be okay. And the scholar thinks there's a civil war. He's trying to steal my whistle, which Dolores stole, and she's not herself right now. that, I mean, she's herself, but she's not okay right now.
Yes.
So do I hear talking coming from the cell area?
Roll me, gosh, roll me.
Well, I guess the question is Taryn being discreet?
I mean, she's definitely, like, loud whispering. So
Yeah, roll
if
me.
you listen, you probably can hear her, but she's definitely not trying. She's not listening. She's not being one up.
Yeah, if she's being discreet.
Okay, great. I was going to say, you probably can roll discern realities. Like, you won't necessarily be able to hear her, but if you want to hear, yes, she's talking, like, then you can do that, you know. He looks at you and he says, you have very nearly... You are lucky that I love you as much as I do, because that could have been very bad. It could have been a very, 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 very bad thing. And your bumbling friend almost led to the war I've been trying to prevent.
Are you, so, I may have overheard some notes. I read some notes about a possible civil war, which I'm guessing we're talking about.
Yes.
Hey, baby.
I'm not supposed to tell anyone who's not Fae, but since you will be soon enough, I will tell you that I'm placing an enchantment on you. If you try to tell anyone else, you will lose the ability to speak. You will not be able to speak about these matters.
Okay.
It's opt-in, yes. There is a war coming. They are trying to resurrect the rimwards. They want them to scour the earth of humanity. And they are going to begin with this little town, because this little town is right on the edge of everything. And I thought I had placed an agent in this town, but it turned out that she was double dealing me. So soon they would have had two, would have been all they needed to begin the invasion, begin the rimward pouring through. And that's we can't have. Because for as much as I think humanity is very silly with its little games, I don't wish to see you eradicated any more than you would wish to see a mouse eradicated.
And you, so, I know, she went into a cave, and she came out and got herself, and that was before we found her at the cabin.
Yes, she's a changeling.
Yes. How do I fix that?
You don't. You're on my side, right?
Well, is she your changeling? Or is she the one trying to kill humanity? Because it doesn't sound like...
I'm trying to get through to her, but she is not listening. She's
been messing with Dolores, and Dolores is not okay with
Well, I will see if I can put wards around Dolores, but you have to make sure she doesn't go anywhere near the forest again. She's very wanted.
that. I can tell.
Listen, I will tell you how to access me in my world. I will tell you how to get the real Inuk, which is how you can dispel the fancy that everyone has, that this Inuk, and that will be bad, but it will not be an invasion from beyond reality bad. But I will tell you where to go. You will have to fight a war.
You probably do that.
No. The things below created this world. You will have to fight a war.
I will tell my friends about what's going on. Not this specifically, but this. And she like gestures between the two of them. And then, she's just like, thank you. We need to get a nook back, because if she's not listening to me, that you know that could mean worse things, right?
Yes. do not think she was the one who tried to summon Greenhill. That was someone else. I'm not sure who. She was involved. But
Dolores said that Emma tricked her, or Dolores mentioned waking up around there and being involved with the sheep, but she thinks it was Emma who was telling her to do that.
one other thing. It is very hard to get humans into and out of Fairy.
Mm-hmm.
If you go in as 4 and come out as 5, you probably won't be able to do that. You have to go in as 4 and come out as 4. Think about how you want to handle it. In the meantime, there is a cave in the woods known as the Maw. I'm sure you've heard of it, and the Maw is this thing everybody talks about around town. Hunters avoid it. Everything around it for like 50 feet is dead. Plants won't grow there. Animals won't go near it. Like if you're going to bring a horse there, the horse is going to stop at the edge of that circle. Inside the Maw slumbers a beast. The beast's name is the something, the Cromwell, I believe. I used to have this pulled up. The beast is a magical worm that was enchanted by the things below and created. The Cromwell is over 100 feet long. If you can battle your way past it, or if you are lucky enough to have it slumbering, sneak your way past it, there is a gateway to Fairy. There, I will take you to a nook, but one of you will have to stay. Now, if you try to tell your friends about any of this, you will just tell them of our engagement.
Yes.
You may tell them that you have to go to the Maw, you may tell them that you will have to fight a worm. That is it.
So she was like, next question? Can I tell them that part?
Mm-hmm. You may tell them your immediate goal, you may tell them that is how you find a nook, and you may tell them that we are very much in love and to be wed. That is it.
I'm not even gonna make note of this, so Tyrion knows her voice.
He's amended the enchantment because I don't want you to actually, but like if you start to talk about this, you will just immediately be like, oh yes, I'm marrying the Fairy King and we're in love. You know, it's just going to be like you're going to do like a wedding announcement from like a small town newspaper.
We can talk about the engagement. I can talk about the Maw and how to get about that.
Mm-hmm. And you can, yeah.
But
And you can talk about the word, yeah.
I can't mention Civil War. I can't mention the fact that one of us has to stay.
Yeah.
Tyrion looks so tired. She's like, she's just exhausted, but she's like, thank you, and yes, I will tell my friends.
I'll be watching.
Please stay safe.
And he's gone. He's out.
Tyrion just gonna say, something, and then she'll come back out. She's gonna enter the next scene.
Zeb is like running down a list of suspects of people who know how to read in town.
He's like, I've been watching them, and they're reading books.
They are literate. Can't trust those literate folk.
I send Dur to sleep at Bronze, next in front of Bronze door.
Okay. Dur will do that gladly.
And yeah, that's what I'm doing when Tyrion comes out. Ilsa, I'm ordering the troops. Do you have any insight on this?
Not really.
Have you checked out the old man's room and looked for any clues?
I haven't had an opportunity to be honest.
I'm
I
happy.
certainly do it.
It's early. It's too early for this, but I'm happy to go take a look.
Let's do that. I'm having a hard time because I'm trying very hard not to metagame, but I also feel like, just given Tieran's inclinations, that Ilsa would be suspicious.
You can be suspicious.
There's no reason not to.
Yeah.
Unless it was Braun in a wig.
And Taryn, just sorry, Glad, dumb question. If I went into my room to get something, would I accidentally see that book?
It's in my bag,
Okay.
so unless
I wouldn't be inclined to go through your bag.
Yeah, it's in her bag, so it's there. It's literally in your office.
But is there a chance I might see it?
No. She
Okay.
would have tucked away. And she would have extra tucked away
Mm-hmm.
after what was happening, because I thought it was really helpful.
Go ahead.
Oh, I guess before we head over to the Gone to investigate, Ilsa is going to go over to Tieran and just kind of put a hand on her shoulder and just say, trying to think exactly how I want to phrase this. You know you can always be honest with me, right?
There is actually something.
Did you take the book?
Not that. Something else.
Change of subject.
Ilsa will remember this.
Wait, can I say that Anoka's a changeling? No.
You can say that to save enough. You have to do this. You can't say why. You have to say enough.
Okay.
Presumably, the people around here would put two and two together and say that. But yes. Yeah.
Is everybody so? Kieran just kind of like, so we have to save enough. It requires going into the forest, going into a cave, and fighting a giant worm.
Of course it does.
Also, I am engaged to the fairy.
I'm sorry?
They agreed to marry him.
Why?
Well, I mean, it's complicated. But listen,
Clearly.
it's just like, I don't know how to explain the 8 layers of things. And just like, I do care about him. He cares about me. Also, he's been very helpful and very kind. And, been helping us through a lot of the stuff that was over.
Did you make the deal? I don't think there's a maybe in this situation.
It's not important. Just know I'm engaged.
It is important. It's
I
very
assume this is
important.
lady talk and Carla's not around?
No, Carla, she's saying this through all of you there, except Ron, sitting around Stonetop.
Got it. Okay.
If this is an arrangement because you made some sort of deal, that's not nearly the same as, oh, we're in love and he proposed to me.
I say
Is this really what you want?
she saved a lot of people at Marseille.
He proposed to me before the
Did you only agree after the deal?
I was thinking about it before that.
I just would hate for you to do anything under real duress. personal with, if not us? Are we not your friends?
Braun's not here, so you can answer that yes.
Listen, Elsa, I mean, I never exactly fit in anywhere. Like, at all. I barely fit in this town. Most people don't even like me here. Marlo didn't even like me until, like, last season. Like, you were, I think, the closest thing to a friend I had in this town for a long time. And now, my hometown is destroyed. My parents still don't like me very much. My ex-best friend is hissed at me and told me I should never have come back to Marshall. It's nice to be getting attention from someone. It's nice that someone actually seems to pay attention to me and take interest in me. So yeah, you know, getting a proposal from a very handsome fairy king. Yeah, I was thinking about it. Like, yes, and I was probably gonna say yes. No, regardless of the deal. I like, you know? I don't know.
Well,
Not like anyone wants me around half the time.
I think you're making an awful lot of assumptions. But you're an adult. I'll let you figure it out. You clearly are going to do what you want to anyway, without any regard for the rest of us.
Is your betrothed had anything to do with what happened last night in force?
No.
Is it possible that his enemies are trying to also get a human bride to maybe...
I don't know. I can't say.
But what was Braun saying? You said that he was saying that he wanted to introduce the girl to something.
But I can't talk about that. So, well, last night, Ron heard an enchanted flute of some kind. He was describing a melody playing something like a pan flute. Dolores heard it too, but she didn't get, like, enthralled by it. He said he talked to somebody at the edge of the wood and that person would get him into the Summerlands, which probably not even real. And I am saying that. He was trying to get Dolores to this guy, and this guy was like super interested in her for some reason. And I was just trying to get her to come back home and not go with Braun. Except I didn't have a way to break the enchantment at the moment.
So what happens when these creatures from the other side of the veil get human women?
Yeah, a lot of things could happen. It's not always, there's no two of the same story.
But you're gonna go and give yourself. So isn't it an actual legitimate question of how this affects the balance? Because it sounds like your boyfriend has beef with somebody.
Kieran, do you want to spot more about this?
Sure.
Plus int, I believe.
For what I can spell more about.
Yeah. Well, you can spot more yourself as well.
Yeah, I know. It's like, for what I can say, since I have my books and scrolls,
Sure.
I'm just gonna leave it at that place, 'cause this is
Okay.
something I'm an expert in. Well, I mean, sometimes it is as simple as they get married and that person gets turned into a fairy. Sometimes it's changeling situations. Sometimes it's there's all sorts of stories as to what the fairy means. And it could be any number of these things.
One thing you do know is that the Fae, once they make a promise, they are bound to it, and he has promised to make you a fairy. Though I don't know that you can. You probably can't say that. That's not one of the things he forbade you from saying. So you know that what he has said to you is at least
So,
true so far as it goes.
she will say that. She's like, if they promise something, they're bound to that promise. So, what I have been promised will probably be what happens. They are very much to their word. So whatever they promise is what's going to happen.
You know, this sounds a lot like what we just left in Marsage.
I just know that we need to go to the woods and save them up. Because that will help a lot of things.
You mentioned the
In
words.
what way?
Go ahead.
Oh. In what way?
She just shakes her head.
And so what should we do with the Inuk that we have access to?
Leave her now?
That's not an option.
I mean, there's nothing, you can lock her up, there's nothing you can do. Other than put her in jail, and you're not come up with a reason why you put her in jail. Which,
Okay.
actually, are your men around? Is it just us?
Zeb is there.
Zeb so you can have Zeb wander up.
Zeb is suspiciously quiet. These damn reading people.
No, I think Zeb had wandered off so that because I don't want Tyrion telling Zeb that she's engaged to the Fairy King. Yeah, Zeb's gone. Zeb's out.
Okay.
I have a way we can get her in trouble.
How's that?
Tyrion pulls out the book.
Ilsa kind of rolls her eyes at this point.
We could do this on her.
Alright.
You're okay with this?
Listen. What I know is that right now, I have a pregnant daughter. And it seems like monsters are trying to collect little girls.
That's not what I was referring to.
If a Nook is seducing young women to do her dirty work, we have a lot of people in danger. Dolores is a good girl. She's a knucklehead.
I think we're talking about two different things here, Marshall.
What we're talking about, if we're gonna go save a Nook, that's not a Nook.
Clearly, I have an issue with the fact that somebody who's supposed to be our friend and on our side went and stole a book and then lied about it to us.
Ron? Hello?
Yeah, I was just going to check for the whistle that I had stolen. Because he was trying to steal it from me.
So, have you read the book, Taryn?
Yes,
So, you've got what you need out of it.
mostly it would be useful to keep, but if you have to get it
So-
back for the sake of this, I'll get it back.
I'm gonna go round up a Nook, and you and the old man can figure out what she is, if she's a threat to us. Pardon me?
She's just like, I know, I just can't say.
Really? More of this?
I give you a look, Elsa. I'll give you a look.
This is like,
So, between her and the old man, we may be able to get enough out of this information, out of this situation. And figure it out. Does that work for you, Elsa? If we find out that a Nook is a normal girl, they did that back in the olden days, right?
Well,
Grammar jokes for the literate.
forget the past so easily. The last time we tried to interfere and tried to have this cavalier attitude that we could go in and get stuff done, we destroyed an entire fucking town.
Was it the right thing to do to save that girl?
You know I would burn the world down to save people, innocent people. But I want to make sure that we have all the facts and we're going into this with them. And I want to make sure that we can all trust one another if we're going to go on such a dangerous mission with the hope of saving anybody. And so, yes, I take some umbrage with the fact that one of our party has decided that they can't give us all of that information. And I think that's fair. Wouldn't you say, Marshall?
Jared is just sitting there like,
My problem is this. She's dealing with forces that I don't understand. And if she can still be of help, we need her help.
I mean, you don't have to come with me. I can do it alone.
No offense.
I don't think Tyrion's Ilsa's gonna let that happen. And I'm not gonna let that happen. Yeah, how do you fight the giant worm?
Well, you can fight it or sneak past it if it's sleeping.
And what is the
By the
sleep?
way, Tyrion, did you mention the words the mall?
Not yet. It said
And when does it sleep?
I have to do some research on it.
Exactly.
Well, we have to prepare. I would prepare. It's a thing related to the things below. It's not a thing related to the thing. It's a little different. I have to get my terms right.
I'm not sure what she's talking about, but
This one goes just like, she kind of just rambles and she's just like, well, I have to do a few preparations for when we go there, and there's a few things we need to do. Erasmus does know something and would know something about Anuk.
okay.
That's like, she's like trying to be so like, I can't tell you, but Erasmus might be able to fill in some blanks that I can't.
Carla's already there. He's waiting for buy-in.
I need to go get some air. And Ilsa just walks out the door.
Ilsa, I'm gonna go collect this young lady. Can you give me advice on this?
Do what you have to do, Marshall. And I'm going to do likewise. And walks off out the door.
Okay. Let me know if you need any help. So,
as Elsa's walking off, as you have that exchange, you hear a yawn from the floor. Dolores sits up and says, I slept so well. You have no idea how much of this she just heard. Because y'all forgot she was there, but I didn't.
didn't forget.
Garrett doesn't particularly care.
No, I know. I don't any of you care.
Yeah, I don't
she's
think
just
Elsa
kinda
cares at this point.
Garrett's just like, good, I'm glad you slept well.
Can you keep an eye on Dolores?
Tyrion looks at Dolores and is just like, we're gonna help him out.
But I'm coming.
I walk out the room at that.
You have left the one person who can't convince people to
You're talking to the highly sexist cop who says, "Uh-oh, woman stuff," leaves the room.
Um, so Ilsa actually goes to find Onwen.
Okay. From the mill. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Onwin is, this is her kind of one of her busy seasons because people are bringing in the harvest, but it's starting to slow down because it's, end of fall, winter's coming up, but she's there working the mill and doing all the things you do at a mill, which I don't actually know what happens, but she was Ilsa. Hello, I haven't seen you in so long.
I've been away. I had some things I needed to figure out.
Sweetie. The stories of your heroism, every time I hear one, I smile a little bit. How you saved so many in Marshett, that doomed town, how you fought with the fairy king, how you... I'm always impressed.
I just wonder if it really was all worth it. If it was really everything that I wanted it to be.
You told me so many stories of the heroes of the past. They all retire eventually. But I don't think you're ready for that. You seem
Well,
conflicted.
not all of them retired.
Yes. That is true. And I'd much rather you alive.
And that's why I've come to say goodbye to you now.
Goodbye? Why would you say goodbye?
Because I'm pretty sure I'm not coming back. And it's gonna be soon.
Well, don't go there. I am quite fond of you.
You have to know that I've always loved you, right?
I have my suspicions, but I didn't dare hope.
That's why I hope you can forgive me.
If you come back, and please come back, I would very much like to spend the winter getting to know you better.
I guess it doesn't hurt to have some hope. But
When it is cold, it is good to have someone you love nearby. I've always found that to be true.
But I hope you'll understand if I can't give that to you.
I will. But even if you don't come back, I will hold a space open in my heart in case you do.
And Ilsa just kind of reaches up and like takes, kind of brushes across her Lachlan's cheek with her finger and walks away. Back
Owen
towards the
watches you.
dawn.
Owen watches you all the way back into the town, the mill, spinning, turning. And it takes her a long moment before she turns back to her work. I believe we spelled it A-N-W-Y-N. Oh, there we go. A-N-W-Y-N. So, who all do you happen to mention this quest to, if anyone? Ron does not yet know about this, I believe.
Yeah, and Tyrion isn't quite sure she wants to tell him.
But yeah, so you're gonna go get a nook. Correct. So tell me about so a nook is out in the fields doing some of the last grain harvest. It's you're in the last few days of the autumn harvest, and she's out there gathering up sheaves of wheat and carrying them back into the wagon. She looks for all the world like just a happy girl, who is just having a very nice time with her friends.
Before I collect her books
Okay.
out of the tree.
Okay. We're still sitting there.
And Kieran gave you the book to basically plant.
Oh my god.
And then I tell Anook I need to talk to her in town. And I invite her to get on the back of the horse.
Marshall, why do you need to talk? I'm helping with the harvest. Can it wait?
It's about the horse.
Oh my goodness. She isn't hurt, is she?
We have to talk.
She does get up on the horse.
And we ride back into town.
Okay. Are you gonna try and put her? Are you gonna try and put her in a cell? Because we're gonna have to roll for that. But if you're just gonna talk to her, it's fine. Yeah.
We're gonna start with a conversation.
Okay. All right.
And we're gonna have a conversation. And Zeb's gonna be there.
Okay.
And I let Sharon and Ursula know when this is happening.
Okay.
And I asked them, if you hear any ruckus, that means I need help. So I tell a story about Dolores down at the river going to see an invisible man.
Surely by now you know you can't see everything, Marshall. We had that experience out in the woods, Dolores and I. It was very strange, but I'm happy that you saved me and brought me back.
Your name came up.
Oh? Dolores was speaking of me?
As the reason all of this is happening.
The reason all of what is happening? Things seem fine, Marshall. There was that thing with the sheep this summer, but you heard what happened in Marshedge. Nothing like that has happened in Stonetop. We are having a very normal year. I hear you're about to be a grandfather. That's congratulations.
If I make it back
Mm-hmm.
from going to the Fey realm to go save Anook.
What are you talking about?
She's being coy, and I'm not.
If there were some other enough to save, and if you were able to save her, and you were able to bring her back here and prove me a fraud, I assure you, it is already too late. But that's if there were.
Too late for what?
I think I'll be going, Marshall.
I think you won't.
Oh?
You gotta stay here. You gotta make it as comfortable for you as possible. Until the other Anook returns.
She makes a dart for the door. If you want to stop her, roll Defy Danger plus Dexterity.
Are any of his crew
Be
around?
prepared for her to dart for the door. Just for the record.
No, for sure.
I failed that roll.
Okay.
Now, is she preternaturally fast, or have I eaten too much for lunch?
You grab right where she should be, and she's on the other side of you. And then she races for the front door where Zeb is waiting, and then she just disappears.
Excellent.
And Tyrion and or Ilsa, if you're standing outside, you see her run out of an alleyway and then just sprint off toward the woods.
And we break for the door.
I take off after.
Okay. Roll me Defy Danger plus Dexterity. She's extremely fast. It's basically gonna have to be a 10. But if you get a 7 and 9, you'll get some good info.
I got a 9.
Okay. So you do lose her at the edge of town, but you notice that every time you start to catch up to her, like she's suddenly a block ahead of you. And it's not like she teleports or anything like that. It just seems like she just like, you almost have to force your brain to realize that's what's happening. And so you start to pull that together, and you have at least realized that Nook has some sort of fairy magic, something or other going on.
Okay.
But she makes it to the woods and disappears into the woods. Since we're coming into the end, Bron, what have you been up to all this time? Hanging out with Dur in your shop?
I think, honestly, nothing exciting. Braun has been, like, the first couple of days, he was just recovering and getting over it, and then after that, he has been, I think, mostly keeping his distance from everyone, since he realizes that he's sort of hurt and betrayed the trust of everybody, and so he's just, doing his books and seeing to his business, and, working on his angel projects for Raj, and to try and prepare something for Dolores, since he doesn't know what's going on for all this.
One morning, you go down to the front of your shop, and there's a man shopping there. He has gorgeous blue eyes.
Mm-hmm.
He's just.
He
says, do you have any books here? I'm looking for texts.
I don't normally deal in books, mostly in trade goods, but I know some people who might be able to help. Do you want to talk about it, maybe?
I would love to speak about it. Roll me Defy Danger plus Constitution.
Oh no! Well, that's a 5.
Okay.
I am rolling great tonight.
And he turns to you and he says very seriously, I know that I'm still in your head. I know that you can't get me out of your head. I want you to be the best boon companion and friend that your friends have ever had. And when you go to Fairy, I want you to leave the door open for us so that we can get back out. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Good. And that's where we're going to end.
Damn it. Don't metagame, but you should toss Brown down a well.
Listen, everyone, we'll be back in 2 weeks to figure out what's going to happen next. Thank you all so much for watching. This has been great fun. Thank you all for being such fantastic players. I'm having a fantastic time with this game, even though we had some weird tech stuff going on tonight, mostly on my end, and I don't have the document I'm supposed to read, so I'm just going to do it from off the top of my head. This has been Stonetop. This was our 9th session. Our 10th session is coming up. June 21st, you'll find out the answers to all these cliffhangers. Maybe we'll fight a worm, maybe we won't. Maybe we'll just hang out and talk about stuff. I enjoy both forms of role-playing. You can find all our past episodes at happyjacks.org/Stonetop. You can find other Happy Jacks shows at happyjacks.org/shows. And now is the time when we tell you what we're up to. Blythe, why don't you start off?
Oh my goodness, this game. Okay. Hi everybody, I have been Blythe Kala. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, all under Blythe Kala 93. That's BLYTHEKALA 93. Currently, you can find me on Saturdays on It's Probably Okay, playing our Urban Shadows game where I play a French vampire who is Marie Antoinette. It's great. It's very fun. It's supposed to be our serious game so far. It's just been not bad at all. It's great. Check it out. That's 10 a.m. Pacific time on Saturdays. And I do have a podcast coming out pretty soon. I was a guest on Pink Milk, which is a queer Star Wars podcast, so hopefully I'll be sharing that. Just follow me on Twitter and you'll see my links and see what I do. I post rather often.
Hey, Nick, what are you up to?
Hey everyone, I'm just on this show, so tune back in 2 weeks and we'll find out how much worse my character can become. In the meantime, if you want to hear the random ass whatever and screaming into the void, you can follow me at Sungrowler on Twitter, so see you around.
100%. I was going to have Anouk do that to Carlo, but then that scene was over so quickly. I was like, well, guess we gotta go back to Braun. Matt?
Hey guys, I have been and will continue to be Mac Beauvais. You can find me online as @StrangeLikeThat, the Twitter, the Instagram, and the Facebooks. Also my website. You can also find me over at 12-Sided Stories. It's a highly produced podcast with sound effects and music, and we are just about to post the concluding episode of Season 2 of Unquiet Blood, a game of Vampire 5e that I GM.
Great. And Mo.
Hey, I'm Mo. You can find me here at the Stonetop game. You can find me on Twitter at AshyFeet. You can go to ashyfeet.com. You can learn about, Holdfast Station. The Stonetop hack that if you back the Kickstarter, you'll be getting a copy of soon. We'll be releasing copies of the playtest soon. I heard Emily played.
I did. It was very fun. It was very fun.
I heard it was a whole thing.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I had a good time. I played a character I don't always get to play. She was very punch first, ask questions later.
Nice.
I tend to play talkier characters, but
Not in my experience.
this is true. The one other game I've been in with Nick and Blythe, it was my other time. I was like, I'm going to play a girl who punches things.
There's a place for those ladies in the world.
Yeah. I'm Emily Vanderwerf. You can find me here every other Monday in Jamming Stonetop. You can find me on the internet at twitter.com/MVW. Writings at Vox. And I'm also on a podcast today. I am on the Pod Directive, the official Star Trek podcast. So you can go listen to me talk about Deep Space Nine with Paul F. Tompkins, a dream I didn't know I had until I was doing it. And Tony Newsom, also fantastic, is on that show. But yes, that's what's up, and we will be back in 2 weeks to find out how much these four can, continue to make things great for their little town in Stonetop. Until then, thank you so much for watching, and we will see you all then. Bye.
Bye.
Yeah.